Welcome to another Gourmet Fishing Info Short. I'm your host, David Murray, and on today's short, we're going to be making bread. But more specifically, it is going to be those buttery hamburger style buns. And we may pair that in our next short with a fried dolphin sandwich served with a homemade tartar sauce and a homemade spicy and sweet coleslaw. But before we can get those buttery buns out to our planetary population, well, we have to take care of a little bit of business. So why don't we, and I'm sure you know, why don't we roll the open? Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click that little notification bell. Also, click the thumbs up if you like the video and leave any comments you'd like. They're all welcome. Now, let's take a look at our grocery list. We need some yeast, we need some warm water, we're gonna need some sugar, and we need all-purpose flour, and we're gonna need some salt. Let's see here, we need some eggs, melted butter, oil, a little bit of milk, and then our topping, obviously we need some sesame seeds. Now, let us get going with getting our yeast to bloom. So here, as you can see, is our yeast. It's about 1/4 ounce, and they come in these little handy packages, and they're 1/4 ounce each. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to add the yeast to my mixing bowl, and then I'm going to come in with some warm water. Now we need to get this water at about 105 degrees. Don't get too much hotter than that. We're going to add us a cup, like so. And then what we're going to do is add some sugar, and that's 3 tablespoons of sugar. Now we're going to come in and we're just going to give it a little bit of a whisk, a little bit of a stir. And now it's a waiting game. We've got about 5 minutes, and what's going to happen is the sugar, the warm water, and this yeast are going to kind of activate, and that yeast is going to come alive. And we know it's alive and it's working the way we want it, because it's almost going to look like the head of a healthy beer. And I'm sure most of us have experienced that. Anyway. Now, as this is rising, let's go ahead and get our dry ingredients ready, and they're only 2 of those. That's a pound of all-purpose flour, and that's a pound of flour is just over 3 cups. So that I'm going to add a tablespoon and 1/4 of, this is Himalayan pink salt. Just because I had it. You could use table salt or kosher salt, but I'm going to come in here and I'm going to sprinkle that on top of my flour, and then got to dry my whisk. But what I want to do is kind of mix that through, kind of get it all throughout my flour, like so. Now we're going to let that sit right there because it's going to be ready. Now our next thing is an egg. We're going to have to whisk this egg up, kind of beat it up. So that's what we're going to do, just like so. There's our egg. Now again, got to have a whisk. We're going to come in and just mix that up, just like so. Okay. Now we're going to need to get our butter, and I sure hope it's melted. Give me a sec. Got to go to the microwave. We're back. 3 tablespoons of melted butter, is going to go into our egg, like so. Move that out of the way, and we're going to mix this up. Okay, now what we have, get off of there. What we've got our yeast, it's beginning to do its little growth. We've got our dry, and we've got our wet. So, by the magic of editing, now after 5 minutes, we have bloomed yeast. We are ready to make our dough. I mean, kind of check this out. It's kind of a neat looking little thing. It looks just almost like the head of a beer. So I tell you what, yeah. So here we go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add all my ingredients at once. I think, let's see how we're going to do this without making too much of a mess. Here we go. Just like so. This is our flour and our salt. All right, there's that one. Now I'm going to come in here with our butter and eggs. Just like so. All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to place a paddle attachment on here just to get everything mixed together. So what you don't want to do is blow this thing on full, because it'll just poof. Yeah, you don't want that to be everywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pulse this on stir, or my lowest setting, just kind of a couple of times, just like this, so that flour just doesn't explode in your face. And we're just going to try to pull everything together so it's doing what it needs to do, and that's perfect. That's what we're looking for right there. Now, I guess that would help to lower the bowl. And now we're going to take this, knock some of the good stuff that's still on there off, because we want it all. Just like so. There you go. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to add our dough hook and turn this on. Lift the bowl up like so, and put that on 2, which is about I guess is really a low. The first one was more of a, I don't know, I just called it a stir on here. I'm not sure what it is. So what this is going to do, we're going to let this go for another 5 minutes. There's nothing quick about making bread. I'm just going to let you know that. So we're going to put her back on here. I think I'm just going to knock it down to the stir, and it's going to do its little dough hooky thing. And when we come back in 5 minutes, we will have our perfect buttery bun dough. So, the magic of editing. Well, it's been 5 minutes. We've been twirling around with our dough hook, and it appears that our dough, our buttery bun dough, is ready to be rolled. So, first things first. Let's see, we need to take our dough hook off, move this over. Now we're going to take our dough off the hook, like so. Come in, and we've got to flour our surface here so it doesn't stick. So here we go. There you go, not bad. This back. Okay. Now what we need to do is we got to shape this into a round ball, and we're going to do that by kind of pulling the edges out and in, out and in. Do this one more time. Roll it over, and then we're basically, kind of hard to explain in words. We're shaping the bread ball, and as I push under, I'm twisting. Push under and twisting. So there, just like so. As we keep doing this, the surface and the interior structure is getting tighter and tighter, which is perfect, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So, okay, that's done here. Now, we've got a metal bowl, and we're going to come in here with a little bit of oil, and we're adding oil to the bowl, so when this thing starts to rise, it doesn't stick to the bowl. So we're going to transfer our dough, like so, and we're going to move it around the bowl, just like so. We're going to get not only the bowl, a little oil on it. But we're also going to get our dough. Now, we're going to cover this with that plastic wrap that sticks to everything that you don't want it to stick. And we're going to put this in our oven, not on, just so it's in a kind of a warm, dry place. Now, we've got to wait for, here we go again, 2 hours. Okay, there's nothing fast about cooking bread. So, I guess we will do that little, through the magic of editing. We'll be back in a minute. Well, 2 hours has finally elapsed, and we can take a look at our dough. Check it out. It has definitely risen by a factor of 2. Take this plastic wrap off. There we are. Now check that out. I mean, that is awesome. Oh man, and the smell. God, it smells great. Now, what we have to do now is to do what they call knock it down. I'm going to get my hands just a little coated. So we're going to come in here and we're going to pop this. See how that worked? Look at that. You just pop it and it clunk, clunk, and it just falls down. Now, we're going to lightly dust our working surface. We're going to pull our dough out. Put you over here. And check that out. Man, that is awesome. So what we need to do is to kind of form this into a rectangle so we can cut out our little pieces to make our dough domes for our buttery buns. So we're going to come down, we're going to try to make it as uniformly thick as we possibly can. Let's see, just like so. Just a little bit of, there we are. About the size of a little smaller than a piece of notebook paper or letter paper. All right, you know what? I think that might do it. Yep. Okay. So now we're going to take one of these pastry knives. I'm going to come down and I'm going to cut it twice one time, and then we're going to cut it across one more time. So 2, 4, 6, 8. We should have 8 buns. Now, what we want to do, we need to work these in a way. We're going to fold them out and back in, out and back in. We're going to do that by grabbing the outside edge, coming in, and then like so, and this side like so. Here, back here, here, and one more time. And as you're folding that back in, you can feel it getting tighter and tighter, which is a good thing. Now we're going to come in and we're going to do the same thing we did with each little small ball as we did for the big one. We're going to form ourselves little small domes. Now, where are my, oh, here they are. Sorry, I forgot where they were. These are my little baking sheets, and I've lined it with parchment paper. So we're going to come in, we're going to take our first one, put it right there, just like so. Okay, now same thing. We're gonna do this 8 times. Obviously, we're going to come in, fold that door over and back, over and back, just like so. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's just getting a little more difficult each time we roll through. Flip it back over. This thing is, you've got a top part of your bun and a bottom part, obviously. And we want our bottom part to be as smooth as possible. So, there we go. And on these trays, I'm gonna do 4 per pan. All right, we need to dust our little dough domes. So when we put our plastic wrap that sticks to everything that you don't want it to stick to, anyway, that will keep the plastic from actually sticking to the buns when they rise for the last time. Now, we're going to cover these again with that plastic wrap, put it back in the oven for an hour. Then it'll be time to put our sesame seeds on top and bake them, and then boom, our buttery buns will be coming out. But again, we have to wait through the magic of editing. Well, it's been an hour since we last saw our dough domes, and they have definitely grown. Take a look at these things now. Look at that. Now we got to be very careful when we take this off. Now that flour did a good thing, so it kept them from, oh no, sticking almost. So, and that's what we're after now. What we need to do now is create an egg wash so we can put on top of our buns, and then we're going to add our sesame seeds. That's what I was trying to say. So let's create an egg wash with 1 egg and a little bit of milk, about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half. So come in here, we're gonna make us a mess. Look at that mess. Okay, so here we go. One of those things that you probably should have done before you get on camera. Anyway, okay, there we go. Now, we need to be very careful when we apply the egg wash to our buns, because we don't remember how when we had that first rise and we popped that bread and it fell. We don't want these to fall at all. So we're gonna get, so this is a silicone pastry brush, and we're just gonna be very carefully, we're gonna coat the top of these buns. And what that does, that's gonna allow our sesame seeds to adhere, and also gonna give us a nice golden color when they're cooking. So let's come in here, just again, very, very carefully apply this egg wash, because we don't want to knock them down. Oh, they're going to be good. Just like so. Yes. Okay. All right, set 1 done. We'll move that one out the way and bring this one over, and here it is again. Check it out. Okay, now here comes a bit of magic. We've got, y'all can see those here, but you'll be able to see them overhead. We've got black and white sesame seeds. Most of the times you use white. I just like to be a little different. So we're going to come in, we're going to add a sprinkle on top, like so. And with our whites, like that, just like that. All right, then we can do the same over here. No biggie. Right. And then we'll come in with some white ones, just like so. Was that emerald guy? Bam, bam. Now, this is something that I do myself. It's just me. I take a little bit of this Himalayan pink salt, and I'm just gonna give it just a slight, just the slightest of a dusting. Just like so. There we go. Now, okay, into the oven, 375 oven for about 12 minutes. Again, here we go. We've got to wait again. Thing about this bread. So but when we come back, we will have some golden brown buttery buns. So here we are through the magic of editing. Hey, another 12 minutes has elapsed in our about 4-hour process of creating these lovely, delicious buttery buns. As you can see, they've come out of the oven. We've got some light, some a little darker. That's due to the convection oven that I was using. But I tell you what, they smell great, and they're gonna go perfect with this fried dolphin sandwich coming up in the next couple of weeks. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click that notification bell and give it a thumbs up if you like the video, and please leave us a comment or two. And down in the description below, we have the full recipe just for you to download. And I tell you what, real quick before we go, look at that. Can't wait to pair it. So until next time, God bless, and we'll see you then.